Imagine a world where every moment of your day is spent chasing pleasure. Picture a life where gratification is your only goal, and the endless pursuit of indulgence fills every gap. In this world, entertainment is constant. Distractions are boundless, and every craving is satisfied the instant it arises. Now ask yourself, what would you sacrifice for this kind of life? Could the relentless pursuit of satisfaction actually lead us into a form of enslavement rather than the freedom we long for? Today we will explore how this modern chase for pleasure, warned of by thinkers like Aldous Huxley, could become a trap, a way of binding ourselves to an existence of shallow contentment. We will delve into ancient wisdom and contemporary psychology, revealing how our pursuit of comfort, instant gratification, and ease may be quietly robbing us of something much more important, our freedom and our humanity. By the end of this discussion, we will uncover an insight that could transform the way you think about happiness and guide you toward a life of true freedom. Let's begin by considering the world Aldous Huxley depicted in his iconic novel Brave New World. In his dystopian vision, humanity has traded its autonomy for the illusion of happiness. People are pacified by a substance known as soma, a drug that guarantees satisfaction, no matter how hollow or meaningless their lives may become. Huxley's world isn't shackled by physical chains or prisons, but by pleasure, the pleasure so consuming that no one even notices they've lost their freedom. This, Huxley argued, is the most insidious form of control. Now, think about the society we live in today. From the constant pings of notifications to the never-ending scroll of social media, don't we too have our version of soma? We are fed a continuous stream of pleasure, tailored to keep us hooked like dopamine hits from likes, new gadgets, or viral videos. Yet, despite all this, we often feel emptier than ever. Psychologists like Csikszentmihalyi, known for his work on flow, warn that while technology creates moments of engagement, it also traps us in cycles of addictive behaviors. Our devices, apps, and algorithms serve us endless pleasures, but they leave us unsatisfied, craving more. Take a moment and reflect. How many times have you picked up your phone for a quick hit of joy, only to find hours slipping away, leaving you feeling drained instead of fulfilled? This is the dark side of pleasure. Modern psychology calls it the hedonic treadmill, the concept that no matter how much pleasure we experience, we quickly adapt to it, returning to a baseline of contentment, whether it's the thrill of a new car, the joy of a delicious meal, or the rush of a new experience. The satisfaction fades, and we find ourselves craving the next fix. In Huxley's terms, we become prisoners to our own desires, endlessly chasing fulfillment that always remains just out of reach. But this isn't just a philosophical concept. Research shows a troubling correlation between our increasing pursuit of pleasure and a decline in mental well-being. A 2020 study in the Journal of Affective Disorders found that excessive screen time, particularly on social media, is linked to higher rates of anxiety and depression. Even more concerning is how this cycle perpetuates itself. The more disconnected and unhappy we feel, the more we turn to the very distractions that deepen our misery. So, what is the true cost of this endless chase for pleasure? The philosopher Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and the author of Man's Search for Meaning, argued that genuine fulfillment doesn't come from the pursuit of happiness, but from the search for purpose. Frankl believed that when individuals lack meaning in their lives, they are more likely to seek distractions, pleasures that only deepen their existential void. Ask yourself, are you living a life driven by purpose? Or have you unknowingly allowed the pursuit of fleeting satisfaction to steer your decisions? This isn't just a question full of philosophers. It's a question that can shape your day-to-day life. We face choices all the time. Do we binge watch another series, or do we spend meaningful time with those we love? Do we mindlessly scroll, or do we invest in our personal growth? These small, seemingly inconsequential moments accumulate into the framework of our lives. As Huxley once noted, most people have an almost infinite capacity to take things for granted. In our quest for constant pleasure, we're risk-taking for granted the deeper joys of existence, relationships, creativity, self-discovery, and our contribution to something larger than ourselves. This brings us to an important insight. When we pursue pleasure recklessly, we are not liberated but shackled. We create invisible chains that bind us to habits, cravings, and distractions that sap our energy, time, and potential. As we move forward, we'll explore how these hidden systems thrive on our addiction to pleasure and what we can do to break free from them. But for now, reflect on this. Are you living as a free individual, or are you simply a consumer in a world that profits from your desires? Let this thought guide you as we dive deeper into this journey of self-understanding and liberation. Imagine a marketplace where the currency is your attention. In this world, the most valuable commodity isn't money, oil, or even technology, it's you. Every moment you spend scrolling, clicking, or consuming, you are not just interacting with content, you're being bought and sold. Welcome to the attention economy, a system that thrives on your addiction to pleasure and keeps you locked in an endless cycle of consumption. To understand how deeply this system controls us, we must examine how it exploits our biology. Neuroscientist Dr. Robert Sapolsky, an expert in stress and dopamine research, has revealed that our brains are wired to seek rewards. Every time we experience something pleasurable, our brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter that reinforces the behavior. Whether it's the satisfaction of likes on a post, the thrill of buying something new, or the rush of winning a game, dopamine keeps us coming back for more. Here's the catch. The anticipation of pleasure often releases more dopamine than the pleasure itself. This is why we were constantly refreshing our feeds or waiting for a message, a text reply, or a notification, hoping for that dopamine rush. It's not the outcome that keeps us hooked, but the possibility of reward. The attention economy turns us into perpetual seekers, always yearning but never truly satisfied. Consider how this shows up in your daily life. How often do you check your phone without even realizing it? How often do you crave a snack, a video, or a moment of validation, only to feel empty once you've gotten it? These aren't coincidences. They were carefully engineered experiences designed to keep us hooked. As Tristan Harris, a former Google design ethicist, explains, platforms are designed to exploit our vulnerabilities, creating what he calls intermittent variable rewards, a mechanism borrowed from slot machines to keep us addicted. This aligns perfectly with Huxley's vision. In Brave New World, the pursuit of pleasure was not just an individual flaw, but a societal tool for control. People were so consumed by their desires that they didn't notice or didn't take care that they had lost their autonomy. Today, we face a similar danger. We may not be taking soma, but we are certainly inundated with digital distractions that serve the same purpose, to pacify us and keep us compliant. But why is this such a threat? Because unchecked pleasure doesn't just rob us of our time, it steals our potential. When we prioritize fleeting gratification over meaningful pursuits, we sacrifice the opportunity to grow, learn, and contribute. As Ulf Newport highlights in his book Deep Work, shallow engagement with technology erodes our ability to focus and achieve mastery. The greatest rewards in life come not from easy pleasures, but from sustained effort and deep concentration. So ask yourself, how much of your time is spent on activities that truly enrich your life? How often do you prioritize immediate satisfaction over long-term fulfillment? These questions aren't meant to shame you, but to awaken you. Recognizing our patterns is the first step toward reclaiming our freedom. But breaking free is easier said than done. The world we live in doesn't just encourage pleasure-seeking, it normalizes it. From ads promising instant happiness to societal values that equate success with material wealth, we are told constantly that more is better. Philosopher Erich Fromm warned about this trap in his book To Have or to Be. He argued that modern society's obsession with possession over being leads to a superficial existence, where true joy is replaced by the hollow satisfaction of ownership. So, what's the alternative? It starts with a shift in mindset from seeking pleasure to seeking purpose. This doesn't mean abandoning joy or indulgence, but it means rethinking their role in our lives. True fulfillment, as psychologists Martin Seligman and other experts in positive psychology suggest, comes from meaning, engagement, and relationships. Pleasure is part of this equation, but it is not the home. So reflect for a moment. What brings you true joy? Not the fleeting kind, but the lasting satisfaction that comes from creating, connecting, and contributing. Can you identify one area of your life where you might be prioritizing short-term gratification over long-term growth? As we explore ways to break free from the chains of the attention economy, remember this: the pursuit of unchecked pleasure is ultimately a pursuit of slavery. To be truly free, we must learn to discern between what delights us and what destroys us. The answers lie not in the next distraction, but in the quiet moments of self-reflection.